Welcome, everyone. Happy Tuesday, the last episode of season two's college football time with Avry and Miguel. I'm Miguel, this is my partner Avery. Avery, this is so unexpected. We both have the Michigan Wolverines as our Zoom background for this. We never spoke about this, everybody. We didn't plan this. I swear to God, we did not plan this.
No, this is
I decided that, you know what? From now on, every year for the national title game, whoever wins,
I
they
agree.
show a Zoom background.
I agree.
And Avery, I think we should do this going forward. But this is so funny and unexpected. But congratulations to the Michigan Wolverines. They did it.
Abs-
They did it. First national title since 1997. Avery, take it from there.
as much off-field, shenanigans, if you will, that has come the University of Michigan's way this past season. Coach Jim Harbaugh, has his first national championship. You have to congratulate him. For a good number of years, a lot of people did not want this man after Michigan could not just get over that final hump, but he stayed true. Every class that was brought in since he became head coach have gone on to bigger and better things. You have to give Coach Harbaugh his credit, as well as any Wolverine that has played under him. The game, even though the game shows a bit of a lopsided, you have to give it to the Washington Huskies. Michael Penix Jr., even though his statistics don't show it, he just got like swarmed by the Michigan Wolverine defense. And in the beginning, we thought we were going to see a repeat of last year's title game between Georgia and TCU, because Michigan got out real quick to a 17-3 lead. Those two runs by Donovan Edwards, that man is a beast. I look forward to seeing him do great things, as well as Blake Corum, who scored the winning touchdown for Michigan in overtime against Alabama to get them to the national championship. But
Donovan Edwards came through big time. Big time. Without
absolutely,
him, that running game was just unstoppable last night.
absolutely, you are absolutely correct. But it really shows when it comes to the Michigan defense. They just swarmed Michael Penix Jr., and he didn't know what to do. He had a modest, 250 yards, but he had less than 50 yards completion. So it really didn't showcase his skill. But Michigan did what Michigan does best. They get out front early, and then they expect their opponents to claw and try to beat them with anything else. So it worked in the Michigan aspect, but I, as much as people want to look down on the Washington Huskies, you need to congratulate them. The Washington Huskies are the last Pac-12 championship. They will now be going to the Big Ten. So expect the Washington Huskies to adapt their game to what the Big Ten has shown them in this national championship game. I look for big things for the Washington in the next couple of years. We should not count them out. This should not be a fluke. The Huskies have a great program, and for the next few years, especially now being in the Big Ten, we can just see great things. But again, hats off to the University of Michigan Wolverines. And I think Coach Jim Harbaugh, said it best. Coach Bo Schembechler would definitely be proud of this squad. First national championship since 1997.
Yes, indeed. And Washington, if you saw the game towards the end of the first half and even the beginning of the second half, Washington has some momentum going on, and they play solid defense. That defense is no scrub from Washington. But Michigan's defense, their pass rich defense was just way much better. They had Michael Penix Jr. unrattled, completely uncomfortable. And I mean, it was a collective team effort. JJ McCarthy, yes, he went 10 for 18, but he did not needed to be the hero in this game. You had the running back, the dual running back, who did their thing. The offensive linemen did a great job. Their pass rush defense. It was a well coached game. It was a collective team effort, and that's how you win it all. A collective team effort. I am so proud of Michigan Wolverines and how they performed. They did it. They got over the hump. They've suffered so long. And historically in sports, Avery, most of the time, we don't say this all the time, but most of the time, you have to learn a little bit before you can go with it all. You have to struggle. Like in the NBA, for example, you saw that with Jordan and the Bulls. They went through the Pistons before they went to win it all. Even the bad boy Pistons went through that with themselves with the Celtics. You have to learn a little bit before you go win it all. And one thing I always tell people is that winning a championship is not easy. It is not easy. You had to go through the tough times. It's not easy to get there. So sometimes I get irritated when I see former legends or people in the sports media making it seem like it's easy to win it all. No, it's not. It's so much. It's so much that goes into it.
You're absolutely correct. Even if you look at, and we're just talking about college sports, if you even look professionally, some of the toughest, championships to win are hockey and basketball. You have to go through numerous rounds of multiple series games in order to get to that final championship. So when you
And
have
hopefully you stay healthy too.
Absolutely. When you're talking about the Bulls, you're talking about a run of six championships through a 10-year period that showed a lot of hard work, especially with the downturn of the team as well. Even if you look in hockey, even if you look at recently the Tampa Bay Lightning for the past couple years, you have to look at their downturn as well as their upturn. If you look during the 80s, the Edmonton Oilers before Wayne Gretzky got traded to the Los Angeles Kings, look at that. Look at the New York Islanders, the same thing. You have these championship runs that show a lot of hard work, dedication, and you're right, a lot of players have to stay healthy. Now, in college football, with the inset of the college playoff and next year a 12-team playoff, not only are we going to see a lot of passion from these teams, you are going to see a lot of coaches adapting to what happens when you get that 12th seeded team that wants to knock off a big dog, if you will. You are going to see a lot of passion, which I've always said, and we've talked about this a lot. When it comes to college football, I love the passion of the players, mainly in college sports in general. But college football is something special. I love to see the passion of the players. I love to see the coaches get behind the players. A lot of games this season, you saw coaches fired up just as much as you saw players fired up. If anything, take a look at the game last night. Coach Harbaugh, you almost thought he was going to suit up at some point of the game. But that's the love and the joy I have for college sports, especially college football. So over the next couple of years, especially with a more expanded playoff, and it's going to be, a great conversation starter. And you're right, national championships are not easy, especially now in a playoff format. Even if you look back to, the early 80s of when the University of Miami Hurricanes dominated, that was still tough to do. If you look back at some of these, championship teams in college football, you have to look a bit farther, when you see back to back, so that is hard work, that is dedication. Even though times may have changed, the game has changed a bit, it's still difficult to win national championships. And I agree with you, Miguel, when analysts or former players say, "Oh, it's not easy," even though we're sitting here talking about the game, we understand it's not easy. We know there is hard work, there is dedication, there are ups and downs. You are going to hit the bottom before you hit the top. And once you hit the bottom, of course, there's nowhere else to go but up. So, as what we've seen from the University of Michigan for a good number of years, they had that downturn. They had ups, they had downs. And a lot of people, because they kept seeing the downturn, thought there was no way but up. But that's where you trust your coach. That's where you trust the coaching staff. That's where you trust the mindset and the game plan of what he was bringing, Coach Harbaugh, to the Michigan Wolverines football program. And I will say this, Rich Eisen now is good for a while. For those who don't know, Rich Eisen, an alumnus of University of Michigan, a diehard Michigan fan. I also work with a coworker who is a diehard Michigan fan. Rich Eisen's going to be good for the next few months. So definitely congratulations to him too.
Yes, yes. Rich Eisen did his undergrad studies at Michigan and got his master's at Northwestern. But yeah, he's a very happy man today. But Avery, this concludes season 2 of College Football Time with Avery Miguel. Thank you so much for doing this once again with me. For those of you who follow the MM Journal, not only we do College Football Time with Avery Miguel, but we also do Talking March Madness, which is not too far from now. So stay tuned for that one as March Madness comes in. We're going to be giving you our previews and our reactions. Same thing we do with college football. But man, what a season this has been, Avery. I'm so looking forward to year 3. And like I said, I'm forever grateful that I have met you and that we are still doing this and, just continue, right? This until the wheels fall.
Thank you very much, Miguel. I have been very blessed, again, to take the leap. And when doing that sports broadcasting course, I met you and we networked, and this has been a great journey for me. I'm so happy you asked me to do this. Season 2 has been great, and I definitely look forward to season 3.